Hey everyone, hi, welcome to LettiSpeaks. Today we are going into the topic of Saturn retrograde. We just entered into Saturn retrograde June 29th, and we will be in retrograde all the way until November, like mid-November, around November 15th. And so Saturn retrograde is a time of kind of like proofing. It's almost like an elusive time because it almost feels like everything has, or the planet itself has stopped when it hasn't. It's just kind of slowed down. But this is a time of experiencing lessons, reproofing, responsibilities, karma, even limits as well. And so again, this is a time where the planet appears to move backwards. And so I feel like this particular season of retrograde is going to be a time where we're going to be challenged to boss up and to move forward boldly in our dreams and in our purpose, our visions, right? There's things that's going to happen that cause us to actually level up in this time. And so I wanted to take a look into how it's going to affect each of us, each of the signs. And so thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Letty. If you are visiting for the first time, make sure that you go down and hit the subscribe button. When you do that, make sure that you also hit the bell so that you're notified anytime new videos are posted, and like, share, comment. If you feel led, you can comment. If you're looking for a personal reading, I can do that. All you have to do is go down to my description and click on the link for my calendar. There, it'll take you to my calendar where you can actually choose a time that's open and set a time to meet. And I can definitely deliver you a personal reading, okay? Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And so we are definitely going to start with, we'll start from the top. We're going to start with Aries, okay? And so I'll be using some oracle cards. I'll also be using tarot cards as well, okay? So let's see how Saturn retrograde is going to affect Aries. All right, welcome Aries, how you doing? So for my Aries sweethearts, let's see. So for Aries, let's take a look for Aries. How is Saturn retrograde going to affect Aries? All right. Okay, and so Aries, I have the Seven of Cups for you. Taking a look at the retrograde energy we'll be in and how it's going to affect you. I have the Eight of Pentacles. I have the Five of Swords. And then I have the Princess of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. And so immediately what I'm feeling is that there could be definitely some energy around you feeling in the month or in this retrograde time. And so again, as I stated, retrograde will be for like the next 4 or 5 months, right? So it is an extended amount of time. There's going to be the energy around, you may be feeling like you're in survival mode, like being stretched really thin during this time frame, being tested in that way. Because again, as I said, retrograde is about lessons. It's about responsibility, It's about limits, even karma, right? And so during this time, with the Seven of Cups, I'm feeling like you'll be stretched thin with what's being presented, or the things that you will be feeling obligated to do. I feel like you'll be stretched really thin during this time frame, wanting to really pull yourself back. You'll feel the pressure of this, even to the point where you may be feeling like what you're doing is not enough. You know, you may even enter into this level of inner conflict where you're feeling like you're just not able to do enough. I feel like overall Aries is usually a very high energy, very motivated, overachieving sign. And so carrying that energy through, you'll still be in your authentic energy for that sign. Very inspirational, very open to do what it is that you feel like you've been called to do. But there'll be other things at play as well because of retrograde. And you may even feel like you're not being or doing enough, right? And there could be things that pop up during this time that just totally come in and throw you off focus, throw you off schedule. And because of your sense of devotion and love, you know, to your family, to those that look at you as this very nurturing, loving, providing energy, you know, there's going to be a feeling possibly of not being able to forgive yourself for not being able to meet the expectations of your family or those depending on you. And I feel like Spirit wants you to know not to beat yourself up. Like that same grace that you give others, you need to give to yourself. And understand that we are all, you know, there's things that we've learned through failure and through not being able to meet the obligations maybe that we've said that we would do. Like there's lessons that we've learned, and that all of that stuff is definitely purposeful. And so during retrograde, Spirit is really wanting you to have grace on yourself, and that same grace that you give to others, you have to really understand that you have to learn to give that self and extend that to yourself as well. And understand that you don't have to carry the burden. It's okay to ask for help, right, when needed. And it's okay to admit, I can't do it all. You're not expected to do it all, Aries. I feel like during this time, too, there's going to be possibly some things that slip through the cracks, right? You're almost going to feel like you can't work enough, you can't make enough. It seems like everything that's coming in is just going out just as fast. Not just money, but it could be time, energy, you know, resources, right? And so there's this tug of war that you may be feeling during retrograde that's going to be testing your limits and allowing you to really learn lessons around extending this grace to yourself. And Spirit is letting you know to be graceful to yourself. Don't burden yourself when you're not able to meet, you know, these obligations that you so want to meet because of who you are. I feel like that's going to be one of the main lessons for you. And in that, it's also because you're such a high functioning sign, it's also learning how to ask for help as well, is one of the lessons coming in. And karma is going to very much be a part of this for you, in a way that though this will be a season or a time where you feel like you just can't bring in enough because things seem to be going out faster than they're coming in, karma is actually going to retribute that back to you. Even though in this season it's going to feel that way, at some point further along in the future, you're going to actually see that come back around to you, right? probably twofold, right? Or more. And so that is what I feel like Spirit is definitely wanting you to know and prepare for. This time for you is going to be kind of like a paradigm shift, because it's going to challenge you in a way that's going to stretch you. Yeah. And possibly lend to a level of overwhelm in many ways, but understand that you can ask for help. You're not expected to do it all, Aries, okay? All right, so get ready. Lots of rewards and lessons coming out of this for you, and so be encouraged through this season, Aries, okay? All right, I'll talk to you next time, Aries. It's been LettiSpeaks. Please like, share, comment. If this is your first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button if you feel led, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you're notified next time I post or next time I go live. It's been LettiSpeaks. Thanks, Aries. I'll see you next time. All right, and next we have Taurus. Hey Taurus, welcome. My name is LettiSpeaks. Thank you for stopping by. Let me timestamp this. So Taurus was 11 minutes. My name is LettiSpeaks. If this is your first time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you feel led. Don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified. Whether this is your first time or not, hit the like button. Comment if what I'm saying and feeling is resonating with you. You could also share. If you're interested in a personal reading, there's a couple of links down in my description where you can click on and schedule a personal with me, okay? Taurus, how are you doing? Welcome in today. And so I wanted to take a look and see how retrograde is affecting you. Of course, the retrograde brings in lessons, responsibility, karma, limits. It brings in the energy around these things. And so I want to see what type of things or energies can you expect to experience during retrograde. We'll be in retrograde, Saturn retrograde, for like the next 4 to 5 months. It just started on the 29th of June. I think we'll be in retrograde until November 15th. So let's take a look, Taurus. Let's see what's coming in for you during retrograde. And it looks like this retrograde is going to be around the sign of Pisces. So with that in mind, I feel like it may be a little emotionally tested in that way, but it brings in the energy around bossing up and pushing us forward to really move in our dreams and in our purpose or our missions. And so it's going to be challenging us to grow and to level up. So let's see what's coming in for you, Taurus. Okay. So Taurus, what we have for you is 3 of Cups, King of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and the Hermit. So for you, Taurus, this retrograde will definitely bring in lessons. I feel like around connections for you. See, with you, Taurus, it's what you've gone through that's really caused you to level up and be, I feel like, elevated above those that are around you. Possible relationships where you could have had like an equal footing because of what you've gone through and survived through and come out of the fire, right? Things that would have tried you. You've come out like on a whole new level that's actually separated you from the rest. Because of that, I feel like that's where a lot of the lessons will come in for you. With the Three of Cups, these may be people that were actually very close to you at one point in time. People that, you know, supported you, you supported them. When times were hard, you were there for each other. But because of the experiences that you've had, it caused you to mature in a way where you may no longer feel like you're on the same level as those that maybe at one time you were. But there's something that's happened through some things that you've gone through that separated you from the rest. And now you kind of look at it with from a different angle. You look at it deeper. You're more observative. You see things now that other people may not see. And because of that, you no longer really see yourself relating with those around you like you once did. And so you, Taurus, during this season, one of the lessons, one of the limits that may be tested is you may feel like you want to just move away, right? Because you no longer relate. I'm getting the hermit energy here, where you're a little bit conflicted because it feels different now. You no longer feel like you're resonating with those around you because of this growth that you've experienced through your challenges. But Spirit is saying, hold on, right? The responsibility around that and the lesson around that is not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I have the King of Wands here. Now, the King of Wands carries a level of responsibility, and there's a level of energy that the King of Wands carries that's very inspiring for those around him, that actually can be used as an energy for transformation. So Spirit may want you not to be so quick to discard, even though you may not resonate or align with the energies around you, with the people that once aligned with you, because there's still yet a purpose for you being in their lives. Spirit may be using you now as a transformational agent for those people around you. And there's a need to kind of see the big picture of what's happening, right? And this is going, I feel like, test your patience because you are on a whole different level now. There could be things that you may feel because of the lack of maturity, things that you are no longer willing to tolerate. Well, Spirit is saying to kind of be empathetic in that way, understanding that you've grown in ways that they may not have yet, right? They may not understand on a deep level that you understand now. So instead of just totally discarding the relationship, Spirit may want you to just kind of take a break when you need to, separate yourself when you need to, but not totally discard the relationship. These could be very long developed relationships as well. And so this is something to not be quick about, but it's something to give some thought to. See the bigger picture and how you may be being placed there or kept there as a level of support to bring others along too. I feel like Spirit wants you to look at it from a different perspective, like from the big picture. And this might be kind of like a new way or a new opportunity to even establish greater bonds with some of these people, kind of bringing them up, helping them come up and mature. That could be why Spirit still has you in certain connections. Now, not every connection this is true for, but Spirit is saying not to be so quick to discard, but contemplate it. Ask, right? Find out which ones you should actually keep around, because you serve a level of stability. There's a level of connection that you have that's very powerful and transformative, and that's going to be very useful in the relationships of those that are still connected to you, some of them anyway. And so for you, Saturn retrograde is going to bring in tests around connections where you might feel like you have a low tolerance now because of the growth that you've experienced. And so for you, Taurus, that's what I'm getting, okay? So hold on in there. Don't be so quick to throw out the baby with the bathwater, because there may still be a purpose for you being connected with some of those people. All right. That's for you, Taurus. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the like button, share, comment. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Letty. Hit that subscribe button, and when you do, hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video or go live, okay? Thank you, Taurus. I hope to see you soon, okay? Thank you for stopping by. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can have that. All you have to do is go down to my description box and click on my calendar and schedule with me, okay? All right, I'll see you next time, Taurus. Thank you for stopping by. Next up, we have Gemini. Hey, Gemini, welcome. How are you doing, Gemini? So we're taking a look at Saturn retrograde energies and how it might affect you, my Geminis. First of all, let me say thank you for stopping by. My name is LettiSpeaks. For those of you that are new, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Support your girl. Hit the like button. If you are new, hit the subscribe button, or if you just have not yet, make sure you hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos, okay? Thank you so much for stopping by. We're taking a look at energies coming through for each of the signs for retrograde. Gemini, it's your turn. And so retrograde just came in, and the 29th of June, and it will be around until around the middle of November 15th, somewhere around there. And this retrograde is coming in to challenge us to boss up, to level up, to really push forward towards our dreams and the passions, those things that we feel like we've been called to do. And so it's through energies like our responsibilities, any limits that we might feel, karmic energies, things like that is what's being used during this retrograde to kind of position us for this movement forward. It may feel like very stagnant or restrictive energy, but it's really not. It's really a time of challenge. And so I want to take a look and see how it is going to affect you, my Geminis, okay? Saturn retrograde, how will it affect Gemini? Let's take a look. Okay, and so Gemini, let me turn a little light on here. It's getting a little dark. So for you, I feel like, let's take a look at the cards that came out for you. We have the World card for you, Gemini. We have the Chariot, very powerful cards, let me say, first of all. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, Saturn retrograde may bring in challenges around, for some of you, being able to, as I was saying, it's that energy of leveling up and bossing up and taking, control, taking the bull by the horns. And so for some of you, this may be that energy. I don't feel like you are someone that was meant to follow. I feel like you, Gemini, are someone that was meant to lead the pack. The world is definitely the end of the major arcana. That means that you have accumulated all of the necessary experiences, all of the lessons that a journey would afford you before being placed in a position of leadership, of calling the shots. And so you're someone who is definitely able to lead. You no longer have to take cues from a supervisor. You have accumulated enough experience, enough lessons, enough wisdom, enough information, right, to know what it is that you're doing and how to do it, where you're able to actually step into leadership. You're able to run the ship by yourself, basically. And so Saturn retrograde is going to challenge you in that way. It's going to put you in positions that's going to cause you to step into more responsibility. It's going to cause you to take those lessons that you've learned and actually integrate them into your life, right? It's going to push the limits and push you out there even more. With the Chariot, this is more of that leadership energy. The Chariot is actually a combination of both the Emperor and the Magician. Again, we're talking about know-how. We're talking about wisdom. With the Chariot, we're even talking about a level of influence, right? So the challenge here with the Chariot, I feel like, is going to be with you understanding timing, I feel like, because the Chariot is bringing in the energy of having a level of patience with yourself, and also knowing when and how to tap into your intuition. It's all about timing with the Chariot, knowing the right time, when to shift or when to allow yourself to transform forward or upward, right? And so with the Chariot, I feel like this is going to be around you being challenged to trust yourself and to be connected enough to know when to do a thing or how to do it, right? With the Four of Pentacles, though, this is challenging that energy where you might second guess yourself. This is challenging that energy where you might not feel like you're worthy of experiencing these things. And we're not just talking about, with the Four of Wands, we're not just talking about that energy of leadership, but it is your ability to enjoy what it is that you've been called to do and how you've been called to do it. When we step into alignment with our highest soul frequency, our highest soul calling, there's a level of enjoyment that we feel. You just know it. There's something that innately celebrates within us, and we just know it, right? And so it's allowing yourself to step into that energy of bliss, of being able to meet the call, right? This is destiny energy. I don't feel like I'm talking to someone who's been called to be a follower. I feel like I'm talking to a leader. I really do. Gemini, you are a leader by right, by destiny. You are a leader. And so any form of withholding that from yourself, and it has a lot to do with how we think many times, the consciousness, or it could also have to do with attachments, not being able to release things, right? You can't it's almost like the concept of, and I'm thinking of that song by Erykah Badu, Bag Lady. You know, it's like the concept of a bag lady, you know, that can't really move very quickly because of everything that she's dragging along and trying to carry. Well, if we just let go of the weight of things that weren't meant to come forward, not only would we be able to move faster, but we would be able to move up higher. Might even be able to fly, you know. We don't know until we release it, release the baggage, we release whatever it is that we are attached to and afraid to let go of. And so for some of you, these are the lessons that are coming in. It's around non-attachment, of being able to let things go so that you can see what is before you and move towards it. This is growth energy. And it's the energy of understanding that we don't know how high we've been called or how far we can go until we open ourselves up to just go. You know? And so that's what I have for you, Gemini, is you understanding that it's time to step out and lead. It's time to release yourself from anything that you've allowed yourself to be held back from. And that requires possibly sitting some things down and detaching yourself from some things. You're no longer taking instruction, right? You are the instructor. You are the leader. And then in this moment, you're being called to level up. No matter how much you feel you've already leveled up, you're being called to yet and still level up some more. There's still more to do. And this Saturn retrograde is going to challenge you in that way. To not settle where you are, but to keep moving forward. There's still more to do, Gemini, is what I'm hearing Spirit say, okay? All right, that is for you, my Geminis. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Letty, and thank you for stopping by. Like, share, comment. If you feel led, go ahead and subscribe. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so that you're notified anytime I post or go live. I would love to see you and conversate with you in my live videos. And so feel free to do any of those things, okay, Gemini? Thank you again. My name is LettiSpeaks. If you're returning, hey, welcome back. And so let's get ready for this retrograde energy, okay? It comes to bring us up, to level us up, to lift us up higher, to push us out there and do what it is that we ourselves are aware of being called to do, okay? And so that's for you, Gemini. Until next time, take care of yourselves. All right. And we are at 3310. Moving on to Cancer. Hey, Cancer. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome to LettiSpeaks, Cancer. Thank you for stopping by. If you are new, welcome. My name is Letty. It is a pleasure to read for you today. Today we're talking to Cancer in regards to the energies around Saturn retrograde. As we know, it did come in June 29th. It'll be here all the way until November 15th. With Saturn retrograde comes the energy of challenge and helping us by bringing in energies like, you know, testing our limits and, you know, bringing responsibilities to the forefront, dealing with karma, and, you know, taking note of lessons, right? It brings in that energy to help us to move forward and to be excelled forward you know, even further, to boss up and to kind of move forward in those things that even we know that we've been called to do. And so we're going to take a look at some of the energies around what that may look like for you during this retrograde season, Cancer. So thank you for stopping by. Go ahead and hit the like button, right? If you're new here, subscribe. If what you hear does not resonate, that's okay. You may be somebody that's looking for something a little bit more personal. Down in my description box, you'll see a link to my calendar. You can schedule a personal reading. I can do that, okay? All you have to do is go down and schedule a time with me that's open, and I'd be happy to read for you, okay? All right, let's get started, Cancer. Thank you for stopping by. So nice to have you here. All right. So let's go ahead and shuffle for Cancer. All right, for Cancer. Woo. Hope you guys are being safe out there. Here I'm popping the bombs, the firecrackers already. So for Cancer, let's see. All right, Cancer. And so for you, Cancer, let me show you the cards that came out. We have the Seven of Wands, we also have the Six of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Wands, and the Six of Swords. And lastly, we have the Moon. So it's a lot out here for you, Cancer. And I feel like during this retrograde for you, you're going to be surprised because you tend to be very cautious. But to your surprise, there's going to be a rising of desire for, for adventure, right? That's what I'm sensing. There's going to be like a surprising rise or craving for action and adventure, which is going to be a little bit surprising to you. Definitely feeling that with the Seven of Wands and the Knight of Wands. It's giving that very fiery energy. And it's almost like the energy of not being held back or understanding that nothing can hold you back, right, from this. And so bringing in these energies around retrograde, I feel like, first of all, you're going to feel a sense of uprising during this retrograde that's going to be very difficult to hold back. That uprising is going to be like a level of energy driving you to be kind of like in this very courageous energy, to step into your what's the word that I'm looking for? I'm taking the word autonomous and turning it into a character if I can do that. And so it's understanding the fact that you are autonomous in your being and using that, understanding that, being led by that to kind of move forward in this very passionate way, I feel like, in a very passionate way. And this may in fact lead into things like kind acts towards others, or a higher level of compassion as well. I feel like there could be things that come back around that are very familiar as well, that comes back around to awaken. It'll come back around to give this shock effect in some type of way, because it could be something that you're not even anticipating coming back around. And it'll come back around and kind of shift your perspective, because you possibly did not even realize how much of significance, was there. When this comes back around, that will create this different perspective for you. And then again, talking about that energy of freeing yourself, or giving yourself permission to go forward and experience new things instead of moving in this very cautious energy. There's going to be a level of fulfillment and joy that you may also feel during Saturn retrograde from freeing yourself in that way. From freeing yourself to be able to move forward in the abundance that you have been given. And I hear Spirit saying, it's almost like being given like a whole bunch of cash, but then keeping it in a storeroom in the back of your house and never using it. Spirit is saying, I've given you the abundance of these things so that you can go out and experience them in the world, amongst people, celebrating life, right? And this is going to happen very quickly, I feel like. Once it connects, I feel like the connection is going to happen very sporadically, and it's almost going to be like just being taken by a current, and there's going to be no turning back. It's going to be like a current pulling you along, but it's not going to be like an irresponsible energy. This is going to be very responsible energy, very insightful energy, and so it's not losing the sense of responsibility. It's flowing in it. It's flowing in it, and enjoying the flow, right? Enjoying taking a more scenic route to get to where it is that you are going today, right? I'm going to go down, Fairy Lane because it has more trees, or it has more poppies down that lane, still getting to where you were going, just taking the more scenic route and allowing a little bit more time for you to kind of venture out mentally and just be. I also feel like there's going to be the energy where it's this Saturn retrograde for you, Cancer, is going to move you challengingly, move you out of thought and into action, into the next level. The next level may very well be some type of physical action. It could be, communicating, or it could be entering into the energy of what it is that you're thinking about, right? It's moving it out of a mind space out into the world in some type of form. And then whatever this is definitely could be something that will be very much part of either something that you have already visualized, already dreamt about, maybe already seen in some type of form of vision in the spiritual world, and there's going to be clarity brought in around it. Clarity brought in around it, and it's going to open up an opportunity for you to, and I feel like I could be talking to someone whose desire is to be of service. This is someone who's very spiritual and connected spiritually with the moon here. But there's a balance there. There's a lot of mental sharpness as well. So there's a nice balance here that I'm feeling. Not all spiritual or dream-like energy. There's definitely groundedness as well that I'm feeling here too. Very practical energy as well. And so for you, Cancer, I feel like the challenge will come in with, for you, it feels a lot like getting out of the normal routine and allowing yourself to step out and experience something more. You know, whether it's taking, you know, some classes, whether it's going and allowing yourself to travel, maybe doing some hobbies, or even doing some type of activity or some type of spiritual quest. I'm feeling that. And then just standing back once you open up to it and just watching yourself, you know, grow from it or evolve from it, right? And being in awe, right? From doing like one little simple act or opening to one little simple thing and seeing the abundance that unfolds from that. That's the type of energy. And the struggle comes in around possibly addressing, you know, any limits that you may have, or challenging any responsibility that you feel like you have, right? And so it's working with those energies when we're talking about retrograde. But for you, Cancer, I feel like it's allowing. For you, it's going to be allowing. And I feel like it's going to be hard to fight back these energies that'll be coming in for you, because Spirit really does want you to experience something more than you have been experiencing. And so that's what I'm sensing for you, my Cancer friends. If you're open to it, I think you would be very pleasantly surprised with the cards that I have out here. Lots of fiery energy I'm feeling. And so that is for you, my Cancer friends. I hope that made sense. And so thank you for stopping by. It has been Letty Speaks. If you're new, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so that you'll be notified. You could also comment if you feel led, or share the video as well. If you're looking for a personal read, these are general, so not everything will resonate with everyone. But if you're looking for a personal read, you can definitely go down to my description box and pull out my calendar and go over and schedule a personal session, okay? I'd be more than happy to do that for you. That was for you, Cancer. Until next time, take care of yourself. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so we are at 48:25, and we're going to Leo. Leo. All right. Hi, Leo. Welcome. Welcome to Letty Speaks, Leo. Thank you for stopping by. Now, Leo, we are taking a look for you to see like what kind of experiences, what kind of lessons, challenges will come in around this Saturn retrograde for you. Saturn retrograde came in around June 29th, and it'll be around for a moment. It'll be around until around November 15th. This retrograde comes in to challenge us and push us out of our comfort zone to go after those things that we are well aware of what we've been called to do. Kind of like to level up or to boss up, right? It's that kind of energy. And the retrogrades usually use things like lessons, karma, limits, and responsibility to, initiate changes, or what it is that this energy is coming in to accomplish. And so with that understanding, let's take a look and see what Leo can expect. All right, so for Leo, what is there to expect for Leo during Saturn retrograde? Let's take a look for you, Leo. For Leo during Saturn retrograde. Let's see. Leo during Saturn retrograde. This is going to be a time where we almost feel like things are standing still, but they're not really. It's just the illusion of standing still. For Leo retrograde, let's see. It's really the planets moving backwards. All right, Leo. All right, let's take a look. All right, Leo, welcome, welcome. Let's take a look at the cards that came out for you. So I have the Star. I have the Ace of Cups. And I have the Empress. So Leo, this particular retrograde for you, I feel like is going to be one where you will be challenged to really open up to your purpose in many ways, what it is that you've been called to. And if you are someone that has been wondering when it will be made plain, or when the opportunity to step into that will come around, I feel like this could absolutely offer an open window for you, not only to see that, but even to step into that. I feel like you're being, during this time, things will be orchestrated and you'll be handed an opportunity to step into this energy where you will realize and bring into fruition certain desires that you've yet to be able to step into. Again, this retrograde is about leveling up. It's about bossing up. It's about being pushed out of your comfort zone to do that thing that may have very well just been kind of laying back there in the background, not being utilized. It's almost like knowing that it's there, but not just having it up on a shelf somewhere. And for some of you, there could have been the wonder as to when you will have the opportunity to pull this thing down off of the shelf to use it. And you may have been thinking that this is going to happen in a way that's very linear, right? But Spirit is saying that things have been orchestrated according to divine timing. Like, not everything is going to make sense, right? Like stepping into your passions when you turn 75 years old. Now, all of a sudden, you're pursuing your passions, right? Things don't always happen from a linear perspective. Spirit is saying that because it was purposed to happen in a certain time as things came into being. I feel like there's definitely lessons that you have learned along the way. There's time that you've put in, right? You've earned your stripes. You've earned the right to be able to step into this now. I feel like this is your season, Leo. And Spirit is handing you the ball this season. If you're willing to open up and take it, you'll have an opportunity to sow into that energy of your passion, of your wildest dream. And it's not like this isn't something that was purposed for you. We all have our destiny, our designed path in this life, right? And so there's almost like there's always been in writing that this would happen for you. I hear Spirit saying it's just a matter of when. It's always been written in the stars for you. It's just a matter of when. And right now, during this time of Saturn retrograde, you'll be challenged in ways that's going to cause you to step into your responsibility around that for yourself, to challenge the limits, to take hold of the lessons and bring all that together so that you can find what that is, or unleash what it is that you've come to give, what it is that you've come to experience. And I feel like you're being led to that. You're being led to that. And this feels a lot like something that is going to be very fulfilling for you. It's going to be something that's definitely going to feel like everything that you've poured out is you're finally seeing it coming back, to fruition for you. And so you may very well, in this particular time of retrograde, feel very powerful in the fact that you feel like things are just coming in for you, right? And understand that you have a lot to do with that. If you decide to step forward in this energy and take the challenges that Spirit will offer you in this time, they may come in, in forms of, when you see an opportunity open, challenging yourself to move forward towards it. Knowing like the right time, trusting yourself, trusting what you're hearing and what you're feeling. This could be very much a time where for a lot of you Leos, where you're able to actually transition your financial situations as well. This may be a very ripe time for you to actually use the energies to do that for yourself. I'm seeing that out here. Yeah. And so understand that some of the decisions that you'll make is actually going to either move you forward towards this or not. Not that I'm not saying it's going to be easy. This is going to be something that you definitely need to assert energy for. And it's definitely something that's going to pull you out of your comfort zone. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be an opportunity for you to actually, as it pertains to karma, we're dealing with karma right now during the Saturn retrograde as well. For Leo, this may be a time for you to kind of wipe your karma slate clean and build better habits as you move forward with this clean slate. And so that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing opportunities for new beginnings, but I'm also seeing a level of that being your responsibility to step into, your responsibility to manifest, your responsibility to understand and to feel and to internalize and to intuit, right? Because these are things that live within you. What is that? Where are you being led? What have you been waiting to open up for you? Well, you're going to start feeling that coming towards you. You're going to start feeling that being attracted to you during this Saturn retrograde. And what you do with that is going to be up to you. Okay? It's almost like Spirit is saying, all right, I'm about to hand you the ball, right? You have all the energy. You have all the know-how on what to do with this ball. Go for it. This is your chance, right? So that's what I'm feeling for you. And many of you, this could have a lot to do with finances as well. I'm hearing that. And so that's for you, Leo. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever new readings or whenever I go live on my platform. You'll be notified of that, okay? Make sure you guys hit that like button, okay, my Leos? Thank you for stopping by. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Here's the Saturn retrograde. I'll see you next time, Leos. Bye. All right. So Saturn retrograde for Virgo. Let's see what's coming in for you during this retrograde season, Virgo. That's too many. Saturn retrograde for Virgo. All right. Okay, so for you, Virgo, welcome, first of all. So we're talking about Saturn retrograde that actually just came in June 29th, and it'll be around a while until about November 15th. And so the retrograde for Saturn is actually going to bring in the illusion of things stopping, but really it hasn't. Or the illusion of things, you know, being blocked. But really the planets have actually, they're just in reverse, rather. And so through this retrograde, there will be challenges around stepping up or leveling up or bossing up, doing that thing that you feel purposed or called to do, or your mission, you know. And so it's through things like your limits and responsibility, through karma, through those types of things that we will be challenged in many ways. Also through lessons that we've learned. And so I want to take a look and see how this Saturn retrograde will actually come in for you, some ways that it might affect you over these next 4-5 months, right? We'll be in this retrograde for quite a while. And so let's take a look. The cards that came out for you was the Hierophant, the Lovers, the High Priestess, and the Princess of Cups. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at these energies and see what type of experiences, challenges, what things you may need to be aware of any advice that Spirit might have during this Saturn retrograde, okay? All right, and so Virgo, let me show you the cards that I have for you. I have the Hierophant, the Lovers, the High Priestess, and the Princess of Cups. And so I do feel a level of maturing. It feels like a lot of awareness. So it feels like spiritually, mentally maturing right now for someone with the Hierophant. This is the ability to kind of dig deep and pull out what is within, what you have inside as a resource, especially during times that are challenging. And so for someone, for you, Virgo, someone may be actually coming to grips with reality. It almost feels like being in a situation where you thought was going to be very different than it actually is. And it's waking up to the reality of that and being faced with what it is, and then having to decide what you're going to do with it. There's a lot of maturity that happens with that. You know, when we enter into contracts, or we enter into commitments that seem one way, and then they actually turn out to be something totally different. And there we are in the middle of something that we've committed to, having to actually work with that, right? And so it feels kind of like that. But during the process of that realization and standing there and having to work with what we've chosen, you know, there's a lot of maturing that happens in there. And it feels a lot like that. And so with the Hierophant, this is, you know, learning, even mentoring energy. And it definitely feels definitely spiritual. This may in fact be things that you've been destined to encounter and experience. This is definitely something that's along your path that was purposed to help you in your growing process, in your spirituality. This, whatever this is going to help you step into your authentic self. It's going to help you to set down or leave behind everything that is pretense, is what I'm hearing. Because you're not going to really feel like you have anything to lose, right? It's going to help you to peel back all the layers of that onion so that you can be free to really just be you. I also feel a lot of balance happening within you. A lot of, through that balance, I see a lot of expression, a lot of creativity being born through this experience, a lot of connecting with yourself as well. You could be someone, it's lots of spiritual energy out here. You could be someone who understands that they have a direct connection with spirit. That could be part of what is being cultivated during this Saturn retrograde, through the lessons, through the limits, you know, being tested, through you actually being held to different responsibilities that you are being faced with or confronted with during this time. It could be cultivating that relationship and strengthening it as well. For some, this could be specifically concerning connections or relationships, you know, situations where you thought it was kind of like going to be more like a fairy tale, and now reality is kind of setting in and it's not you know, what it is that you thought it was going to be. Nevertheless, you still have the support and the guidance. You're still connected in a way where you're able to be guided through this, right? And pull something beneficial out of this. You know, Saturn retrograde is all about lessons. It's all about experience, you know. It's all about being taken to places that's going to test our limits. It's about bossing up and kind of, you know, tying up your boots and getting to work. You know, I feel like for whoever I'm talking to, because of this divine connection that you have, you already know what it is. You already know what you have to do as well. I feel like you're very aware of your limits, which may in fact place you in a position of having to ask for help and having to submit to the process. It's not going to be something that happens or turns around overnight, right? First of all, you have to make the decision, is this something that I'm willing to fight my way through or work my way through or see it to the end? And if it is, then what's the next step? How can I get through the next step? And then what would be the next step after I get through the next step? And so it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to be a process getting through this. But I feel like you are tapped in and connected in a way that gives you an advantage. I'm talking to someone that's very intuitive, my Virgo friends, and you know it. I don't know if you share this, but you're somebody that's very intuitive and tapped in. And right now feels, when I say right now, I mean in Saturn retrograde, it's possibly going to have you feel kind of like you're in a moment of vulnerability, like you're exposed in some type of way. But understanding that this is all about working through that energy and using that energy to move forward. Not just move forward, but to move up, right? This is going to bring you to a place where you're able to see yourself more clearly and really exist in a more free state of who you are, standing in your true authenticity. I feel like it's part of what's happening here. Saturn retrograde is all about lessons. It's all about you finding who you are, you finding what actually aligns with you, you know, and the best part of that is you get to play a part in forming that and putting that together, creating your ultimate cup. You get to play a part in that. For someone, you could be definitely having to travel while going through, you know, these trying times, these difficult situations. Travel could very well be a part of that. And there's going to be a lot of signs and synchronicities, if you're paying attention, that's going to be helping you and guiding you along the way as you are traveling from this starting point to this finish point through Saturn retrograde. And so you have a lot of help, Virgo, if you're willing to open up to it and pay attention to what's happening around you. Some of that help may come in by form of seeking it and asking for it. But I feel like this is going to be a trying time in just understanding yourself and what you want and what you desire, and then deciding that. There's going to be a level of peace that comes in when you decide what's best for you. You'll feel a peace behind that. But that's part of the process of stepping into your authentic self during this Saturn retrograde, Virgo. All right, so that is for you, Virgo. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are new here, Please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you do subscribe, by all means, hit the bell so you'll be notified when other readings are posted or if I go live, right? Thank you, Virgo, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading, okay? All right, my name is LettiSpeaks, and until next time, take care of yourself, my Virgo friends. All right, bye. All right, that was quick. So if you guys hear the firecrackers, it's only because they're busting them outside. That's not, you know, anyone shooting, you know, those bang bang things. That's actually the crackers that they're popping out there. So up next is Libra. Libra. Welcome, Libra. Welcome to LettiSpeaks. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's a pleasure seeing you again this evening, my Libra friends. If you are new or if you're returning, either or, please like, share, comment if you feel led. Definitely like. It doesn't take anything to support. All you have to do is just tap a button. So please help a girl out and just like the video. That would be awesome. Also, if you are new or you're a returning viewer and you have not yet tapped the subscribe button, please do so. When you do that, also tap the bell so that you can be notified whenever I post new videos or go live. If you're someone that doesn't feel like this resonates after you listen to it, you can go down to my description box and actually hit the calendar that I have down there, and you can schedule a personal reading with me. I can do that. Okay. And so Libra, welcome. We are talking about Saturn retrograde. We just entered into it June 29th, and we will be in Saturn retrograde until around November 15th. And so Saturn retrograde comes in to help us to move forward, help us to improve and advance on our journey. It's really to bring in that boss energy, right? Those things that we know we're capable of, it's coming in to give us that extra push, right? And so for you, Libra, that push may come in the form of like testing your limits, you know, having you be faced with responsibilities that you committed to. It could come in the form of the energies around karma or even lessons, right? And so I want to take a look and see, while we're in Saturn retrograde, some things that may be available for Libra to experience, okay? So let's take a look. Again, my name is Letty. Thank you all for stopping by. So let's take a look, Libra. So what will be coming through for Libra? Okay, and for Libra, let's see what is happening for Libra during Saturn retrograde. I hope you are well tonight, my Libra friends. I hope you stay safe out there. so let's take a look at your cards, my Libra friends. So we have the Queen of Cups. We also have the Knight of Cups. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And then we have the Five of Wands. So immediately I can already see. So for the Libras, you may actually, during the retrograde, you may be experiencing like a low level of energy during this retrograde. You could be challenged with managing your energy during this time. And so for you, these challenges around retrograde could possibly be causing you to really place yourself in a high priority in your own life, even at the expense of, you know, saying no or declining offers or declining advances and letting people down. You know, this really is going to be a time of learning how to prioritize yourself. Especially with the Queen of Wands here, the Queen of Cups, excuse me. The Queen of Cups is usually someone who is really connected and open and available to everybody. It's the go-to person. It's the person who usually is pouring love and support and, you know, they're pouring and filling other people up and giving others what they need. Usually because there's an overflow of it. That's what they've been called to do. That's usually what fulfills them. So in doing that, there's a sense of fulfillment. But in this particular case, because there is a need to learn priorities around yourself, right? There may not be that unlimited resource because there is a lack of self-care in this case, and a lack of the ability to reach out for help when you need it. It's almost like that kind of energy. And so there's a level of healing that's happening. There's a level of teaching that's happening through lessons that you'll experience during this retrograde, Libra, that's going to help you identify the importance around caring for yourself first before giving and extending to others, right? The cup that you have has to be full, and not only full, but actually running over, so that when you're done giving and assisting others, you haven't depleted yourself or your resources or what you have for yourself. And then you're looking around like, okay, so now what do I do for me, you know? And so it's learning how to move away from the energy of feeling like you have to be in codependent connections. Along with that comes that energy of being able to really be honest with yourself and not be in that codependent energy where you feel connected in a way that compromises your integrity, right? Anytime the connections cause you to put yourself on a back shelf, there's compromise there. And so this comes in to bring in a level of boundaries and to help you to establish a discipline that's going to help you to have these traits and these values ingrained within yourself. And I feel like that could come in through a level of transformation that'll be ushered your way. It could come through experience that cause you to have to step outside of this very sweet, compassionate energy and step into a stifling energy, right? You may be placed in situations this month that will cause you to have to defend some aspect of who you are or what you stand for. I feel like this is going to possibly get a little uncomfortable. Sometimes that's the only way to get the message across, especially when we're really comfortable with where we are. And so there could be experiences that come up that force you into transformation or changing some things, that forces you into seeing things for what they really are. But for who I'm speaking to, I feel like naturally there is a level of independence that you carry. There's a level of weight that you naturally have. I don't know if you know that about yourself, but there is actually like a very beautiful, almost innocent, pure energy that you carry that could possibly place you in this energy of being kind of like a target for people that see that as easy access, right? And so it's awakening to all those things, but at the same time, not feeling like you have to hide yourself away, right? Spirit wants you to be able to enjoy your authenticity. And if that's really who you are, you should be able to dance and, freely be out in the open without having to hide any part of yourself. But there's a part of that has to be balanced with boundaries as well. This is going to feel very new for you, Libra. And it's something that's going to happen very quickly. You may look back at it and see how it's transformed you or how it took place. It may even be something that isn't that excruciating. I feel like you have energies working around you for you. And so we'll see how this works out for you. I do feel that transformative energy happening, though, you stepping into like a new energy really quickly. This may also be becoming aware of who you are and what it is that you carry. There could be not a lot of acknowledging and understanding what it is that you carry. And then with the Five of Wands, that could definitely be the energy that will be coming in, playing as the transformative agent for this. Part of that too could be learning how to create your own sense of peace. Even when all things are just kind of rising up all around you, or everything around you seems really scattered, it's you being able to find your sense of peace or gather the information that's needed even when things are up in arms and scattered. Because there is a level of knowing, there's a level of stillness that's needed in order to be able to pull the information out of the noise, right? That's a lesson that you could be learning as well. This level of self-care and self-love has to possibly happen right in the middle of a storm. And in the middle of that storm is where the transformation will happen. And that's where the wake up call will happen. That's where that level of knowledge will become known. It's through being in the heart of the storm. I feel like that's how that may come through for you, Libra. Because at the end of the day, this is all about you. It's about you being able to really understand the value and your worth and the necessity of prioritizing yourself. And that doesn't take away from anyone else. It doesn't mean you love anyone else less, but it means that there's a balance that needs to happen. Because at the end of the day, there's something that you've been given. You came out as the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, right? There's something that you've been given that's very valuable in the world. But just having gifts alone does not make them, or does not make you worthy of having them. But there's a level of responsibility that also comes along with that. And so part of that is being able to utilize them correctly and being able to stay in a position to be able to utilize them and have them be available. Well, you can't do that if you're running yourself into the ground, right? And so there has to be this level of being able to stand in your individuality when needed, because being people pleasing cannot override your need to take care of yourself. And besides all that, I feel like you're the ones who really care for you and love you, you know, when you're happy, they're happy. And so parts of this may be very joyous, but I feel like there's parts of this that may be also very trying for you, Libra. But this Saturn retrograde is coming in to bring in a level of discipline around you, taking care of yourself better and placing yourself as a priority. And it may resonate for, you know, the Libras differently. You place it where it fits. But there's a level of self-prioritizing that will be at the center of the challenges for you during this retrograde season. And it's going to possibly force you to really open up and see that, what needs to be done. Yeah. And so that's what I have for you, Libra. That is what I have for you. I feel like for you, the energy, you may be running on very low energy, but it's trying to teach you a lesson. Saturn retrograde is trying to teach you a lesson. Imagine driving a car. Let me see if I can bring this home to you. Imagine driving a car and you're running around giving everybody a ride, right? Everybody that needs to get somewhere, they're calling you and they're coming and asking you to give them a ride, but nobody offers you any gas. And you're just riding everybody around, you know, all around town, you know, and so you come to the end of the day, you drop the last person off at home and see that you're on E. Now, how are you going to get home? And so what happens is now you don't have any gas. No one gave you gas. And you have to get out and either walk home or walk to the gas station to get the gas, right? Through that lesson, as you're walking, now you're thinking, wow, how inconsiderate, right? Here I am availing myself to be of use and to provide a way for all of these individuals that didn't even have, you know, the courtesy or the thought to pour back in to the vehicle that I provided to assist, right? And so through that experience, it's not to get you upset with those people who were I will use the word ignorant, because they didn't mind paying attention to what you may have needed. It's not really their fault, because you never let them know that you needed gas. And so in their mind, they may very well be thinking, oh, she has enough gas, or else she would have asked. But here you are walking to get gas because you didn't value yourself enough to actually ask for reciprocation, right? And it's through that walk that that light comes on. That's the Five of Wands energy, that scattered energy, the misfortune that happens. The light comes on through that causes you to say, okay, I get it. Enough is enough. I get it, right? And so something like that. Anyhow, Saturn retrograde comes through lessons. It comes through responsibility. You know, you have something that you've been given, but there are lessons that you're learning about how to maintain the vessel. Okay? And so that is for you, my Libra friends. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, if you are new here, don't forget to like, share, comment. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you're notified of any videos that I may post or any lives that I may go into. You'll know. And if you're looking for a personal reading, I can do that too. Just go down to my description box and hit that calendar and schedule with me, okay? Until next time, Leo. Libra. Why did I say Leo? Why did I say Leo? Okay, maybe Leo is one of the signs that's going to test your patience during this retrograde. Maybe they've already tested it. Until next time, Libra, thank you for stopping by. It's an honor to read for you. All right. Bye. Next, we have Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. Hi, welcome. Welcome to LettiSpeaks. Today we are talking about the energies during Saturn retrograde. This is going to be a very exciting reading because they're just popping all kinds of firecrackers out there. But I hope you guys can hear me louder than you can hear the fireworks. And so let's go ahead and take a look. We are talking about Saturn retrograde, which just came in June 29th. It will be around all the way until November 15th. Now, this Saturn retrograde is bringing in challenges around leveling up and really moving forward in the energy of realizing our dreams or our purpose and our missions. It's a little bit of push to help us, and that may come through energies of like karmic, you know, energies. It could come through with lessons that we're learning, with experience. It could come through with, you know, testing our limits. And so we're tapping into each of the signs just to see how that's going to relate for the signs as they are positioned during this Saturn retrograde. And I think this Saturn retrograde will be resonating through Pisces in this season. And so let's take a look and see how that will come in for you, Scorpio. All right, and so Scorpio, let's take a look at your cards here for the Saturn retrograde. It's kind of spicy, so let me just warn you. First of all, okay, we have the Queen of Wands, okay, in all her glory. And then we have the Two of Cups, the Lovers, in plain sight. Nothing's hidden. And guess who we have on the other side of the Two of Wands, the Two of Cups? We have the King of Wands. This is absolutely, positively, obviously a divine match. Now, here's the thing. And so during Saturn retrograde, this may very well be obvious energies attracting each other. But for some reason, Scorpio, you feel like chivalry is dead. Right now, you're feeling like, you know, this love thing is not possible. Like it's not something that no longer exists. For some reason, you're feeling that way. However, Spirit is going to challenge you through this retrograde, because Spirit is going to make it very clear in many ways, as you will see here, that it is very much alive. Not only is it alive, but it's all in your face, okay? All in your face. And so you could be being invited to cultivate passion and intimacy, first within yourself, and then be open, you know. And so that could be allowing yourself to go and, you know, do things that you love, do things that light you up on the inside. And so this energy here, whether you're the male, whether you're the female, we're just talking about energies, right? Take it how it fits. So this Queen of Wands, I feel like is the energy that is fleeing from, you know, intimacy, because there is a lack of, there's almost like this very, it's a very distrustful eye, you know, this lack of belief in it anymore. And so there's a little bit of scrutiny as it pertains to love. And this could be over analyzing everything to the point that you talk yourself out of it every time, right? And that may be what you're doing here with this energy during retrograde. And then we have the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups is Spirit bringing this right here, right in front of your face for you to see it, to the point where you cannot deny it. Okay? I'm going to tell you why you can't deny it. Imagine, this is the energy that I'm seeing here, where Spirit is trying to get you to trust what you're being shown. So imagine walking along a bank of water, like an ocean. Now we know on the bottom of the ocean that there's lots of things that are hidden there, right? And so in order to see that, we know it even though we can't see it, right? We just believe that there's lots of things down there. Now imagine Spirit taking and removing all of the water from that ocean, just to prove to you, as you're walking along the bank of the water, you notice Spirit saying, okay, look this way. And you look over towards the water as Spirit is gathering your attention, and Spirit removes all of the water from the bottom of that ocean so that you can see everything lying on the bottom of the ocean. Not only do you go off of what you already believe, right? We understand there's lots of things down there, but for Spirit to remove the water to prove to you that there is. So there is no longer any inkling of doubt. That's what Spirit is doing for you during Saturn retrograde. Is going to test your gangsta, Scorpio, so that you will have no more excuse left. And the only thing that you will have left to do after seeing all those things at the bottom of that ocean, and after hearing Spirit say, I told you so, you didn't believe me, you will have nothing left to do but to trust. And then to kind of get your little self together and start strategizing how you want to do this. So you're going to have lots of signs coming through. Lots of things, synchronicities proving to you that you're not just tripping, that what you're feeling, what you're seeing is absolutely true. And it's absolutely for you. Now, on the other side of this connection is the King of Wands. Now, incidentally, the King of Wands is at a stalemate as well. They're undecided as well. They're trying to figure out what's happening. Now, on the other side of this, the King of Wands is trying to figure out what's happening as well. 26. And because they're feeling your energy, and this very Venus-like energy that you've been given, right, to bask in, is in reverse right now. It's almost like the Empress energy in reverse. And when the Empress energy is in reverse and it's in retrograde, what that means is that the Empress is not really taking offers right now. The Empress is really taking care of herself, right? She has blocked off any interaction because she's taking care of herself. She's focused on herself. She realizes there is a deficit within her, and she has blocked that interaction off to place herself as a priority in her life. This is what the King of Wands is perceiving from you. Now, this could be happening right now. This could be happening during, in the future, in the next few months. This is the energy for Saturn retrograde. And so there's a little something going on both sides, right? But this person is giving the energy of lightweight obsessed. And I guess sometimes that is because of the energy that he could be feeling from you. You're very attractive, whoever you are, and I'm just talking about energy. And to make an advancement as a masculine energy, and then to be shot down for many of them, especially in this kind of energy, the King of Wands is very masculine, very aggressive, very go get 'em type of energy. And did she just tell me no? Oh, no, she didn't. Let me just prove to her who I am, right? It's that type of energy. And so it's lightweight, obsessive energy. That could be good. It could be not good. You have to work through these energies, right? And figure out, this is about strategizing and trusting, right? And so it could be because of this energy he's feeling from you that he is more apt to go a little bit harder. It's masculine energy. And so there's a lot of things that will be needed to be dealt with through this Saturn retrograde around love. For you, it's around coming back into the energy of believing that love is still possible. And then for the other energy on the other side of this connection, it is getting past that block, getting past this possibly the energy of not feeling good enough and feeling like he has to prove something, right? And so there's some things that'll be being worked out here around love and around bringing you to understand that there is something for you, just for you. Now, whether it's this or not, I don't know. However you fit on this side, whichever side that you fit in this scenario, right? There's some things being worked out here. Whether this is meant to be destiny or your resting place, this could just be a karmic lesson. I don't know, but these are the interacting energies that will come into play for you, Scorpio. Okay, place it however it fits. It's rather fiery energy. It feels very electric, right? And so that's what I have for you, Scorpio. This was a very interesting one. I like this one. Very fiery energy. And so Spirit is coming in to challenge you with your concepts around love, around your beliefs, and pushing you out to connect in this season. That's what this is about. This is about you getting over whatever stigma you have around love and connection, and helping you to understand that, yes, it is very much still a thing, right? We haven't thrown love out the door. People are still falling in love every day. People are still having real life connections every single day. It ain't over. Spirit says it ain't over until I say it's over. And so that's what's coming in for you, Scorpio. This is going to be a time for you to really open up and allow yourself to cultivate intimacy. And it may be a challenge, but part of that is you strategizing a way to open up to trust again. That could be something like engaging in your favorite activity just to open up your heart space, right? To get you in a position to be able to be open, at least to the idea. And then Spirit may be just giving you permission, even in that, to skip the small talk too. Okay. All right. That was for you, Scorpio. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you. Hit that like button. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell if you are subscribing so that you'll be notified whenever I post a video or go live. If this did not resonate, it seemed like it might have been kind of specific. Maybe it's just for all of y'all, but if it didn't resonate and you want a personal reading, go down to my description and hit my calendar and schedule, okay? I can do that. I can give you a personal reading. All you got to do is schedule with me, okay? And so that was for you, Scorpio. Some juicy energy coming through for you during Saturn retrograde. So hold your hat on, okay? All right. Next, we have Sagittarius, 5145. How you doing, Saggies? Saggies in the house. How you doing, Sagittarius? Today, Sagittarius, welcome in. My name is Letty. Welcome to LettiSpeaks Tarot. Today we are taking a look at Saturn retrograde and what will be happening. And so we came into Saturn retrograde June 29th, and we're looking to stay in retrograde until November 15th. Okay, so it's going to be some months. So this particular retrograde comes in to bring in the level of pressure, right? To get us to move forward, to advance, to level up, to boss up in those things that we already know we've been called to do. So this Saturn retrograde is coming in to put pressure on us, okay? That may come in the form of energies around like karma, around lessons, around responsibility, you know, things like that. Definitely putting pressure on limits that we may be facing, you know, and so it all comes in to actually advance us forward, possibly through opposition, you know, and so it's going to look different for each of us. That's why I'm doing each of the signs one at a time. And so if you are new here, make sure you like the video. Thank you. Comment if it's resonating. You can also share. If you're new, subscribe. When you subscribe, hit the bell so that you'll be notified next time I post. And so you'll be notified when I go live. Okay? So welcome, Sagittarius. Let's see what retrograde will be bringing towards you. If you find that the reading does not resonate because, you know, I'm reading generally and you want a personal reading, you can have one. All you have to do is go down to my description box and click on my calendar, and we can set up a time. You choose the time and you let me know what time works for you, and we'll get it cracking, okay? All right, so let's get this cracking, Saggies. All right, and so Sag, welcome again. Let me show you the cards that we pulled for you. 5 of Swords, the 10 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, and the Prince of Swords. So Saggy, for you, this retrograde season is going to be a time of uncovering. I feel like this is going to have a lot to do with you becoming aware, acknowledging, dealing with energies around like family cycles or trauma that was cultivated within the family. For you, this is very personal. I feel like you will be given the opportunity or faced with truths around that trauma and around undoing that trauma for yourself, which will not be easy. It's going to be a process, just like it was a process to cultivate the trauma. But you're going to be given an opportunity to pinpoint what it is, and it's going to allow you to start undoing that for yourself, okay? The first step is knowing and acknowledging, and then the next step is moving forward and making things better for yourself. So with the 5 of Swords, I feel like this is really understanding the difficulties that you've had to endure, and yet still, I feel like this is for Sagittarius, who is very compassionate and very patient, right? You've taken that, Sagittarius, like a pro. You've taken it like a beast, and you turn that into kindness. You turn that into compassion. You actually use that to create opportunities for yourself, and you even use that even as streams of creativity for yourself. I think that's beautiful. Around your family, I felt like there was things that are coming to your understanding around how things came to be. Again, it didn't just happen overnight. Like, this was a process. And how the perspective that is common, like with those who you are aware of, right? How the perspective came to be, like how that actually formed into being this trauma thing. It could be like trauma bonds. It could be like a certain way of looking at things. Like there's this collective trauma that I'm feeling that exists. And part of your lesson coming in during this retrograde is to understand how that took place, how that formed, or how blocks formed and attitudes formed, right? I feel like this retrograde is going to show you that. There's going to be a level of understanding that you're going to be given around what that is and how that happened. Not only did it affect you in terms of family, but I feel like it affected you in every area of your life, even when it pertains to your connections. Even when it comes to the union that you experience, Sagittarius, this is a part of that. This is a part of why, if you're a Sag that actually has a level of distrust with connections, and you're a Sagittarius that always feels like they have to look over their shoulder, you know, or ask, you know, the question, you know, after you walk out of the room, it's because it was that kind of environment that was cultivated around you, right? It's what you possibly even got comfortable with. This may have been something that was taught to you as you watched examples of relationships, you know, growing up. This is what you know to be true. You know, father energy is coming through really strongly. This could be something that was taught to you by your father, or something you learned by watching your father, or something you learned by not even having that example, right? It could mean any of those things, but it has something to do with a father-like energy. There could be other instances. It doesn't necessarily have to be a father to you, but it could just be that energy that played a very heavy part in this deceptive energy that you got used to, or that you have accepted as being normal. This is the energy that you will need to forgive and renounce and release, right? In order for this healing to take place. Like whatever it is that you identify, there's going to be a level of coming to peace with it. That's why you've been given such a heavy level of compassion. It's for this. And so Saturn retrograde will be bringing up some of these things for you to recognize and for you to finally deal with and move past them. It's going to be something that's going to be plain and clear. I feel like Spirit is going to be very intentional about showing this to you and giving you the opportunity to detach from it, to release it. Because truly it's not a part of your story. It doesn't have a place in your story, because you were meant for something so much better. And so this could be a painful process. It doesn't have to be. It could just be a enlightening process, an awakening process. For some, it could be very painful. Nevertheless, the whole idea is to understand and to release, to shed compassion and let go, and reframe how it is that you see things. Reframe your perspective. Okay? Yes. And so there's going to be a time given. There's going to be a time given to contemplate these things during the Saturn retrograde. And point out, I feel like this is going to be really specific, like what it is, what these things were, these dysfunctional things are. You know, things are coming up right now like greed. You know, things are coming up like a level of discontentment, you know, things like that. So Spirit may be very specific and very intentional, where you're going to be able to actually see what it is and name it, so you can release it and let it go once and for all. Because again, this Saturn retrograde is about really stepping up into your power and pushing forward. And this is something that Spirit definitely feels necessary to address for you in order for you to push forward in your power and to level up like you've been intended to. And so these are some of the challenges around family trauma that will be coming in for you, Sagittarius. And you'll have a chance to take a look at them and address them and release them so that you can move forward in a way that you have been purposed to move forward, okay? For some of you, this could very well be preparation or final releases before you enter into union, you know. For some of you, it could be those final things before actually stepping into your purpose, your divine purpose, right? But it's just little things that could be holding you back, that could possibly play a role in causing you to have a certain narration about, you know, there's a story that you tell yourself that needs to be, you know, finally just over and rewritten. You know, there's an understanding of releasing some things that you were never responsible for, you know, things like that, so that you can step into your power and your rightful place. Finally, Sagittarius. Okay, and so thank you for stopping by. My name is Letty, and it has been a pleasure reading for you. And speaking things that are meant to make your life better, to lead you to that place of wholeness. And so if you resonated with the reading, like, share, comment. If you're new, subscribe, and go ahead and hit the bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post new videos or whenever I go live, okay? Thank you, Saggy, for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to read for you. Until next time, take care, Sagittarius. All right, and next we have Capricorn. Welcome, Capricorn. How are you doing tonight? I hope you are well. Tonight, Capricorn, we are taking a look into the Saturn retrograde energies that we are in. We stepped into these energies June 29th, and we will be in Saturn retrograde all the way up until November 15th. Just a couple of things to know about Saturn retrograde, Capricorn, is that it comes to get something done, to do some work, or to get us to do work. But it's bringing in a level of challenge around bossing up and leveling up, you know, in those areas where we've been called into our purpose, right? And so this is a time where the planets are kind of like in reverse. And so there could be like the illusion of things not moving or standing still, but it's not that at all. It's just that the planets are in reverse. The good thing about that is we get an opportunity to kind of address some things that we may have missed getting to where we are right now. And so Saturn retrograde will use certain energies to get us to kind of step it up, right? things like karma, lessons, responsibility, challenging our limits, you know, things like that. And so we're taking a look at the energies for each of the signs today. And so for you, Cap, I want to take a look and see how Saturn retrograde will be affecting you in this time. All right. So again, if you're new, go ahead and hit that like button. I appreciate it. And hit the subscribe while you're at it. Hit the bell so you'll be notified. Let's jump in. Capricorn, thank you for stopping by. Let's see. For Capricorn, what's to be expected for Saturn retrograde for Capricorn? Let's take a look. So let's take a look for Capricorn. For Capricorn. All right. Caps for Capricorn. For Capricorn. One more for Cap. For Saturn retrograde. All right, Capricorn. Hey, hey, hey. I have two more to go after this. And so let's take a look at your cards, Capricorn, that came out. And so we have the Queen of Pentacles with her balanced self. We have the World. And then we have Three of Cups. And so first of all, the Queen of Pentacles, very balanced energy, very grounded and stable. I feel like this is definitely going, I think it was Libra. We were talking about setting good boundaries and having limits. It's kind of like going in that direction. Queen of Pentacles, very helpful energy, very useful, very resourceful as well, grounded and collected. There is, Capricorn, a high level of intention for what it is that you have, what it is that you share, how you help. It's a high level of calling that you hold. It's almost like master energy. The way that you serve and offer assistance, and the way that you connect and see the need and offer up in a selfless way to help people. Now, the challenge that Saturn retrograde is going to bring in for you, Capricorn, is around setting boundaries, right? It's almost like having a wild horse, right? And let's call it a stallion. I think there was a movie, The Black Stallion, if you ever saw that. And the whole movie was about capturing this beautiful, wild, fierce creature, right? That was it was untamed, right? But it was big and beautiful and strong. The whole movie was about capturing it and taming it, because it's one thing to be this very fierce, beautiful, powerful creature, but it's another thing to understand who you are and the purpose behind what it is that you are and what you've been given. Power is useless if it has no purpose or direction. Almost like that is what Saturn retrograde is coming in to get you to take ownership of. And so there's a level of direction that will be challenging for you. There's a level of honing in what it is that you have, this power that you have, this energy that you carry, this purpose that's on your life. It feels like a high level of purpose, and it's directing that. It's funneling that in a way that's purposeful. And so you could be challenged in that way to get grounded, to get focused, to find out what it is that you've been called to and how you can offer that up effectively, purposefully. Part of this also will entail with the world endings. The world talks about endings, ending a cycle, a part of a journey where you have come to the end of the lessons in this part, and now you're stepping into a level where you can actually integrate the things that you've learned as you move forward. Part of this integration, part of these lessons could be around even setting restrictions with yourself, cutting out things that you know is not actually for your highest good, however that looks, right? And being willing to know when it's too big for you, and being open to even be able to ask for any assistance that you might need with that process. Whatever that is will be being brought to the forefront. Whether it's setting good boundaries with others, that you're offering up your services and your what it is that you offer, or whether it's even with yourself. I feel like boundaries are going to be brought in some type of way for you to recognize and work with. Now, part of that, like I said, is concerning those around you, and it may in fact be those very closest to you, where challenges will come in around knowing and trusting yourself, when to say and cut it off, when to say no, when to know when you're giving too much of yourself or extending too much of yourself, or when you get into an energy where now you feel kind of like blocked and trapped, or you feel like things have just kind of gotten out of hand, right? There's a level of being able to really hone in and hear and trust what you're hearing. Trust yourself as it pertains to your interaction, even with those closest to you. Because many times we would think, well, there's no need to have boundaries, with people that are closest to you. That's what we, they love us. That's what we're called to do, be here for one another. But yeah and no. There's boundaries needed for everybody, even you. You need boundaries for yourself, right? Spirit is bringing that up here. And so setting boundaries is actually going to be essential for this boss up, for what's next for you. I do feel like there's like a graduation here of you overcoming some limitations that was placed on yourself. There's a graduation here during this Saturn retrograde, or coming out of this. There's going to be like a graduating to even the next level. I'm feeling that really strongly. Capricorn is very organized, very detail oriented, like very good at staying within, limits. And sometimes, though, we need to have them pointed out as we set them for ourselves even. And so, again, we're dealing with limits in Saturn retrograde. I feel like that's very much going to be some of the challenges that will be brought in for you. And those limits, when they are set and when they are taken in and integrated within our lives will, many times when we set limits with other people, it helps us to feel more valued, right? You get it? When people are able to look at us and say, oh, well, I know she's probably reached the limit tonight, so I'm not going to go over there and bother her. You know, it helps us to feel more valued and not taken for granted. So in that same way, we can even set limits for ourselves to build on the value that we have intrinsically as well. Right? And so if we need to pose them in our relationships, then we definitely, if we need to impose them on ourselves, then we definitely need to in our relationships as well. So for you, Capricorn, that could be showing up in the energies during Saturn retrograde around setting good boundaries, not only for others, but for yourself. Not only for yourself, but for others too, okay? And so thank you so much, Capricorn. That's what I had for you. If you are new, like, share, subscribe. If you're returning, hey, I hope you enjoyed this part of the reading for you, Capricorn. If you desire a personal reading, you can have that. All you have to do is go down to my description box and schedule a time for me, okay? I'll make time for you. With that being said, I'm going to go to my last two readings, okay? Thank you, Cap, for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. All right, and now Aquarius. Aquarius, how are you, Aquarius? Welcome to LettiSpeaks. I hope this evening finds you safe and having a good time, hopefully. Today was a holiday, but you may watch this on another day, right? But whatever day you find this, I hope you are having a good day or a good night. So Aquarius, we are going to delve into the energies around Saturn retrograde, which started a couple of days ago on June 29th. We came into Saturn retrograde, and it's going to stay around for a few months until November 15th. Well, during that time, we'll most likely be interacting energies around Saturn retrograde that's going to challenge us in many ways through things like karma, through lessons, through responsibilities, through testing our limits, right? And it's going to cause us to advance, to move forward, to level up, to, boss up. And so that's the purpose of this Saturn retrograde. It may very well feel like things are sitting idle or sitting still. They're not. It's just because the planets have started moving in reverse, right? So it gives that illusion. But I want to look and see how this Saturn retrograde will actually affect Aquarius, okay? And so thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, make sure you like, share, comment. If you're returning, like, share, comment. But if you're new, I want you to subscribe if you are aligning with the energies here. And when you subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell so that you can be notified when new videos post or when I go live, okay? Thank you for showing up here. I appreciate you, my Aquarius friends. And so let's take a look at what's happening through Saturn retrograde for Aquarius. Aquarius during Saturn retrograde. Aquarius during Saturn retrograde. Aquarius during Saturn retrograde. Hope you guys are well today. It was hot today, but we made it over, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. All right. So Aquarius during Saturn retrograde. Okay, and so Aquarius, thank you for stopping by again. Let's take a look at your cards here. We have the Nine of Swords, the Four of Wands, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So with the Nine of Wands, it's almost giving me the energy of being worried, stressed out, having a level of anxiety, right? And so this could be as a result of being too focused on everything and everyone, even yourself, you know, and it could beckon you during Saturn retrograde in many ways to kind of release things. Lessons around being able to release things and not having to expect so much from everything. You know, it's almost like the energy of perfection, right? It's releasing scrutiny. It's releasing scrutiny, even for yourself, not expecting it for yourself, you know, instead of all of the extra, you know, just allowing yourself to be. There could be lessons coming in around accepting things as they are right now and not trying to make them be more than they are right now. I almost feel it's like that energy. This could be around connections. It could be around love. It could even be around like those around you. It could be around community or tribe. You know, it gives that kind of energy. And when it comes to the community and the tribe, there may be a need to zoom out from this very close scrutinizing perception to actually seeing it from a higher point of view, kind of seeing the big picture and how things are actually working out in the way that it's supposed to, how things are working out in your favor and moving forward, right? Or looking at it from that perspective as you consider what's going to be best, you know, as you move forward, something that everyone can benefit from and relate to and pull something away, right, from. I feel like I could be talking to Aquarius that stand in a very valuable position, someone who is anchored and connected to people for, you know, stability, for a level of support and guidance. And so the way that you see things is very important. So there could be lessons coming in around that, understanding the necessity of being able to release yourself from perfection or feeling like things have to work out a certain way. And if they don't, then it's a no-go, right? But it's building yourself up on authenticity, on the reality of what it is, and believing yourself, right? It's not having to construct something to make up for the reality of what it is. It's accepting the reality for what it is and accepting that as good enough and building on that to what it is that you would eventually want it to be. And so it almost feels like there's lessons around not personalizing everything and taking the pressure off of yourself. Whatever it is that's causing you to be upset, this Nine of Swords is very antagonizing, draining energy. Whatever that is that's bothering you, Spirit is going to kind of use that as a point of helping you to grow. There could be lessons coming in around things that frustrate you or things that you pinpoint and expect perfection from. It almost feels like that type of energy too. And also allowing you to see that sometimes there's more that gets done on a day that you rest and do nothing than the days that you're running around, with your head cut off, like you're doing all this stuff, right? Sometimes it's just trusting. It's some strategizing, but it's preparing and trusting. And so this could be a new way of operating that you'll be challenged to embrace and operate in. And that new way could have a lot to do with accepting help or releasing the outcome to Spirit to, handle. Or it could also be delegating some of those responsibilities to others around you that support you, that can be trusted to do it just as good as you do it. It's not having to feel like you have to control every angle of what's happening. One of the best qualities of a leader is the ability to share leadership and to delegate some of the responsibilities, because in that delegation there is some growing that's happening. You're teaching people how to lead like you lead. You're teaching them how to eventually exist without a leader, right? Leaders raise leaders. It's almost like that kind of energy. And so, but there's a level of being able to release perfection or release expectations and not feeling like you have to like fluff up, or make it be bigger than it actually is. There's a level of reality, I think, that Spirit is bringing to this equation. And understanding that sometimes things need to be very simple. Sometimes they need to be very small or very insignificant because it plays some part in the overall outcome of what's happening. We may not understand it, but the wheel of fortune says that things are going just as they are supposed to be. And we need to accept that and understand that and follow that and let it unfold naturally as the wheel would have it. And sometimes it'll end up being better than we could have ever imagined. But I feel like for you, Aquarius, those are lessons coming in. It's around releasing this stress that you're putting on yourself around possible perfection. Or just pressuring yourself instead of just believing, that you're going to do your very best and you're going to get better next time. It's almost like not forcing yourself to create a story that's not really there. Just accepting things as they are until they grow into something better, you know. And so there's lessons coming in around that. And possibly, I feel like this is also about testing your limits, right? And it has something to do with how you are actually perceiving yourself and your value in comparison to what it is that you're able to do. And Spirit is going to bring that up to deal with that and see, you know, if there isn't a better way that we can perceive the worthiness that we carry, that it's not necessarily connected to what it is that we do, just simply who we are and what it is in that moment, not having to dress it up as anything either. And again, this is level up energy. This is boss up. That may in fact be the thing that causes you to leap into your next level, right? And so that's what's coming in for Aquarius. Kind of lessons around that thing that's stressing you out. And if it's not that, it could be something else, but it's something around that Nine of Swords, something that's stressing you out, that possibly drives you to the edge of, you know. So prepare yourself, Aquarius. I feel like that was definitely frustrating energy, something that you will just need to be brave for, embrace, right? Because on the other end of that is that boss up, that level up. That's whatever that is, that's the thing that's needed to push you and advance you forward. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Like, share, comment. Don't forget, if you are new here, to hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that that bell so that you're notified as well, okay? Again, LettiSpeaks is the name. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, take care of yourself, my Aquarius friends. All right. Last but not least, we have Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Welcome. So Pisces, welcome in. My name is Letty. If you are new here, welcome. So nice to have you. Like, share, comment if you would be so kind. And if you are new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell while you're doing that so that you're notified whenever I post new videos or whenever I go live. If you're not new here, hit the like, share, subscribe. If you would be so kind to support the channel. So today we're talking about Saturn Retrograde. What that means is that the planets are kind of going in reverse, giving us a chance to go back and relearn some lessons or tighten up on responsibilities, recognizing patterns and karmic lessons, you know, exercising or acknowledging limits that we may have and being challenged around those energies. The whole idea around that, Pisces, is that we would advance forward. Sometimes that's the very thing keeping us from leveling up to the next level or bossing up. Well, Saturn retrograde comes in to bring exactly what we need to go ahead and do what we have to do to move forward, okay? So we're going to take a look at your energies during this time. We entered into Saturn retrograde June 29th, and we will be in Saturn retrograde all the way until November 15th. So let's see what Saturn is bringing in for you, Pisces. Pisces. Again, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Let's see. So for Pisces, let's see what's coming in for you, Pisces. For Pisces, Saturn Retrograde. All right. So I guess that was it. That came out rather fast. Let's take a look. All right. And so Pisces, let's take a look at your cards, okay? We have the Two of Wands, the Fool, and we have the Justice, okay? And so Pisces, I feel like during Saturn retrograde for you, the challenge is actually going to be allowing yourself to actually go in a whole different direction. For you, Pisces, you've been this very mature, many times acting older than you are, this very responsible, this very loyal person, right, in the lives of those around you. And so much so that there are things that you've neglected about yourself, like simple things like tapping into your child, your inner child, and allowing yourself to have a very deep sense of freedom and fun and joy and happiness and just love for life. And so your challenges around Saturn retrograde may very well come in to invite you in to that energy. And I feel like you will have lots of support around you around this. You could very well have energies coming in to help you with this, whether it's angelic energy, whether it is spirit guide energy, it could be ancestral energy. I feel like it's angelic that will come in and help you in that way. That will come in and create circumstances. Many times the angels are coming in to create miraculous energy. And so for you, there's assistance coming in so that you can receive like a fresh breath of air when it comes to life, when it comes to your connections, when it comes to you really seeing things from that childlike perspective. And so you may enter into this very free energy during this time and not know why all of a sudden you want to go and, you know, do something that you really enjoyed doing when you were really young. I see a whole 180, right? From someone that's being really serious all the time to someone who is very light-hearted and flowy, someone who is looking for things that bring joy to children, right? They're looking to experience those things themselves, even though they may be very well up in age. But I see it like a 180, a turn from old ways of doing things, a turn from normal patterns to going a whole different way. This could even look like going and sitting, and sitting before water and just watching the water, being mesmerized by the water, right? But it's turning away from old patterns, old ways of doing things, and allowing yourself to move past limits that you've placed on yourself. And those limits could be like, you're not supposed to have fun. You're supposed to be working and making something happen, or, it's supposed to be something that is not enjoyable. And so Spirit will be coming in to challenge you in that way, Pisces, to allow yourself to experience those things, the very things that you have not allowed yourself to experience, the very thing that you mentally criticize yourself for when you allow yourself to even entertain the thought. Yeah. So this is about the inner child. And the fact that this is something that very well may be old to you, right? You've done that other part, the being responsible, to holding up, your responsibilities. So now there's the balance that needs to come in to allow yourself to go to the other end of the spectrum of feeling joy, of enjoying life, of being able to make the decision of going to do something totally off the wall, right? Just simply because it would be fun. Something creative, possibly, but something that you very much have control over deciding. And so, this right here is a level of awareness coming in for you. And it is an invitation from the divine. You will be receiving a personal invitation from the divine to enter into this energy, because it's due to you to bring in this level of balance, right? And it's okay. And for Pisces, it's going to be a challenge because the energy that I'm feeling is very stifled. It's very serious. It's very set, right? And very rigid, right? And so the opposite of that is fluidity. It's excitement. It's creativity, right? It's permission. It's laughter. It's joy, right? It's releasing yourself to the flow of what feels good, and which is actually good, right? What feels good, but what is actually good. And so that's what I have for you, Pisces. Yours was really simple yet profound. And if this resonates, you'll know, because you are that person that is very serious. And don't allow yourself to actually entertain the thought of giving yourself permission to go and have fun, to go and I don't know why I'm hearing skinny dip. Does anybody still skinny dip? Go and skinny dip, right? And so, anywho, thank you, Pisces, for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you are new, go ahead and hit the like, share, subscribe. If you subscribe, Make sure you hit the bell so you're notified whenever I post another video or whenever I go live, okay? Again, my name is Letty. It has been a pleasure. Until next time, take care of yourselves and hold on to your rockers. Saturn Retrograde is here, okay? Thank you for stopping by, you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye. It has been LettiSpeaks.